All right, so we got this is the picoGus 2.0. It's got the audio out. This is the MIDI out. This DAC, this digital audio converter on this sound card is very clean, extremely clean. It's awesome. We've got a USB port there. That's so that you could actually hook up an Xbox or PlayStation controller, and so you can play your DOS games with X input or whatever it is. It's called there when you're for the Xbox controllers, the modern controllers there. So you can play your old games using a modern controller. This is a USB mini port. So when you're updating the firmware, it's got a little button right there. You just press that button and then it opens up a directory. You just copy the files over. It's got manual pin settings for the IRQ and DMA. I'm setting it to 2 to 9 because for maximum MT32 compatibility for using the roll-in emulation. And then the DMA, that's default, just leave it there. It's got a wavetable header. This is for if you have a daughter board. There's some custom daughter boards you can buy, people have made. So if you want like awesome sound fonts or MIDI sound fonts, you can slap in there. Or you can even get like a MT32 emulator on a daughter board that's a Raspberry Pi powered. And this is the little chip here, the Pico Pi or Raspberry Pico or whatever the hell the chip's called. Can't really get it to, there we go. That's the chip that powers everything. And we're gonna put this into the computer and see how it goes. I've already updated the firmware, so. All right, so I got my flashlight on. This is my system taken apart. You can see the floppy drive there and the little 8 gig hard drive there. I'll be pretty brief to show you guys. I've got a little custom fan I put in there, Noctua fan. It's like I think it's an 80 millimeter or 120 or something. I've got my Ensoniq Soundscape ISA sound card there. Well, it's actually an SPA Media Effects. It's like a European version of it. And then next to it is my Sound Blaster Audigy. And the wires coming out of there, that's a custom PC speaker cable that I made that goes actually around here into the motherboard so I can get PC speaker into my actual speakers and control the volume. And then this other cable is for the CD. Sorry, this is a PC speaker, and that's a CD-ROM drive cable. And right here is actually my 3D-FX Voodoo 3 3000 AGP. It looks kind of funny because I've customized it with heat sinks on the memory chips, and I added some fans. Oh shit, I just knocked that metal in there. I'll have to grab that. And this helps keep the card cool and extends the life. I kind of went overkill on it, but oh well, it is what it is. Over here, we've got another rear fan that I added. And I have this EVGA power supply that I got from Amazon from their like basically returned section. I tested it though to make sure it was good. So I think it's a 500 watt. And then I have like an adapter for the power going into the motherboard. And the CPU I have in there, this is a slot 1 motherboard, but instead of a slot 1 CPU, I actually have a socket 370, and that's a Pentium 3 1000 with a fan there. And then I've got the 256 megabytes of SD RAM. And this here is a SD card to IDE adapter, and this is where my Windows 98 basically drive is. All right, we got the picoGus into the ISA slot. And there's a little light indicator there. It's called a blinking light. It'll let me know if the card's working. And then back here, hold on. You can see right there where it's going to hook up. I have an adapter. Right now, my Audigy is running into the input of the card. I'm going to switch it over. Oh. All right, so now I've got this card going into my Ensoniq Soundscape so I can get the audio to output correctly. And if I go into Windows 98, I'll just switch it back over. But it's nice because that Soundscape card has 2 input lines, but one of them is only mono. That's where I'm going to put the MT32 line. So over here, connected to my USB, is my Roland USB mini interface. The picoGus came with this little adapter. Little MIDI hookup, goes into MIDI out. And then just gotta plug it in. The little black port on here. There we go. Now, I think I'm gonna do the better job with that without the camera on. Right, moment of truth. Turn this sucker on. Oh, I gotta turn the power on. There we go. Oh, it's alive! So I'm in the BIOS. This is how I select when I want to boot to Windows. I usually turn the master on and I turn the slave to none. However, I am going into pure DOS, so disable that. I have my IRQ set 57910 for my different sound cards. DMA is set to ISA as well, so we're going to go there. So we're going to save. Look at that 3DFX. See if it pops up. There we go. Yes. All right. Pentium 3 1512 megabytes of RAM. It's overkill for Windows 98, but it's the max amount. Here we go. Starting DOS. Okay. So we're going to do, I got to just do expanded memory. And what I got to do is make sure my Ensoniq soundscape does not try to emulate Sound Blaster anymore. So I'm going to edit tss.bat. This is what initializes the card. And what you do is you just do this. Delete set blaster variable in the batch file. Save that. Okay, I'm going to exit out of there. Then I have to edit soundscape.ini. We're going to, I'll have to change this later, but here we go. Where it says, here it says SB enable true. This is going to be false. And then we're going to save that shit. Save. Exit. Now, we're going to test. Edit. Exec.bat. All right, so here's what I did. I went in and I set the ultrasound variables, and I have a Sound Blaster variable set. This is just to remind me for when I want to set up the Sound Blaster. I'll have to manually configure that once I do that. So ultrasound is already set, as you can see here, because I set the IRQ to 2/9, and I put the port 240 because that's, I guess, the Travis ultrasound likes to use port 240 instead of the standard 220. Now what we're going to do, I'm going to go to the bottom here because it's the last directory that was created. I'm going to the picoGus directory, and then we're going to executable. So basically, they've changed it, but the picoGus at UF2, that's the firmware. I could update the firmware if I want, but right now we're just going to run PGU, so PGUS INIT, and what we're going to do is, instead of running it, we're going to do /question, and it basically tells me all the different things. So we're going to do mode. That's what we want. And the options are basically Gus mode, SB mode, AdLib, MPU, Tandy, CMS, and USB. But actually, no, that's it. I think if I want to see what I want to see. I want to see, visualize it. All right, so the picoGus is initialized. So I guess what we can do is test it. We're going to try Doom. All right, we're going to do Gravis ultrasound, and then sound effects is going to be Gravis ultrasound 8. All right, we're going to try that, see what happens. All right, so I had to change my configuration a bit because it didn't like the IRQ being 2 and 9 for the picoGus, so I put it to the default 5, which is good because I'll probably likely be using the Sound Blaster emulation mostly anyway when I'm doing the MT32 emulation as well. So we'll just go into the auto go on the autoexec.bat file, and I'll show you what I did here. Oh, that's not what I meant to do, but that's okay. All right. Okay, so what I did was I have the ultrasound set now to DMA1 and IRQ5. Also, the set, I removed the REM from this area here, and I just have it set to set blaster to A20, I5, D1, T3. This won't cause a conflict because they're not both being used at the same time, and because these are two different ports. So when I'm using the blaster emulation, it's not going to affect the ultrasound. So basically, this just preloads these settings so that when I do activate the emulation on whatever card, it'll work. So once I did this, no problems. Everything worked good. Now this down here is for the Ensoniq Soundscape to initialize it, but because I removed the set blaster variable from the INITSS.bat, it only loads the Ensoniq wavetable portion and the wave player for that card. So it will only play sound effects if you have a game that supports Ensoniq Soundscape, and it will only play general MIDI if the game supports Ensoniq Soundscape, or you can set it to port 330. So for like games like Doom that came out before the Soundscape. So that's why I got the Soundscape. That's what it's there for. So anyway. All right. So that's the configuration, and we'll check out some games. Try that again. Well, oh, here we go. An awesome Gus music. Ooh. Ooh, audio too. All right. Nice. There might be some there. Perfect. Now, the sound quality is actually quite good, unfortunately, because I'm running it through my Ensoniq card, so I don't have to keep like switching speakers. It might get some interference, but like some mild. But anyways, we'll find out. I'm gonna muck around with the mixer settings and see how that goes. But looks like Gus is working. There is another game actually. It's a pinball game that's supposed to have like really good Gus support. Oh yeah, it's Epic Pinball. E Pinball. That's it. So let's go to E Pinball. Go to setup. Setup's an option. Here we go. Select sound card. We want Gravis ultrasound. It's pretty simple. Now, go with order of executable. So it's going to be EP1, I guess. No, it's a .dot file. There we go. There it is, pinball.exe. So we'll do that. And here we go. Whoa. That's nice. That's pretty nice. idea what I'm doing. Oh, that's right. Alright, so that's another popular game. Let's try. Sweet. Okay, let's try another one here to see how that sounds. Oh wow, it's pretty good quality. Another game that's pretty popular with the Travis ultrasound is Jazz Jackrabbit. Set up Gravis ultrasound. Yes. Gravis ultrasound. Okay. I guess that's the only option. Oh, look at that. No, I didn't want to exit. Damn it. Oh, for crying out loud. Oh. All right. Yeah. Guess I was being a little rash. There we go. New game. Easy. I think it's control to jump, if I'm not mistaken. That sounds pretty good. Nice script sound effects. Sounds pretty nice. All right, and maybe we'll try Thai CD. We'll do iMuse because, all right, let's do a Express and see what happens. So it detects the Gravis ultrasound. Look at that. Wow. Yes, I heard that. Oh, left to right. It seemed to work good. To now check stereo compatibility. Yep. Turn to keep settings. Okay, so I'm going to go back into this and do a custom setup. We're going to do an advanced menu. There we go. So Gravis ultrasound. Sounds pretty good. We're going to test to see if the soundscape is still working. We're going to put it's at 320. Let's try that. Oh, I didn't like that. Anyways, back to what I was doing there. So I'll test the. So we got the Gravis ultrasound music works. Okay, and then in Sonic Soundscape. Notice there's not much reverb, but as I'll put it back to Gravis ultrasound, and then we'll just quit, and we're going to save it. All right, so I'm going to try to test out the Sound Blaster emulation now and see how that goes. Okay, so I'm back in the picoGus directory, and in order to get the Sound Blaster to work, I have to set the variables. So set blaster A equals 220, I5 for IRQ5, DMA1, and T3 means it's a Sound Blaster 2.0. and then I just have to run picoGus space /mode, and we're gonna go Sound Blaster. Bam. And then there we go. Firmware updated. And we're gonna try one of the oldest Sound Blaster games that incorporated ad-lib and sound, Wolfenstein 3D. Typing with one hand, so bear with me here. Oh, look at that. Got the ad-lib emulation. It sounds great. OPL3 chip. Sound Blaster's working good. Let's go into a game. Oh. Oh my gosh. I suck today. Anyway, okay. That's Wolfenstein. Let's take a look at let's see. We can try Monkey Island, but I'd have to slow down the CPU. It'll probably crash. We can do Monkey Island 2. Actually, no. Let's see what a game that does. Excuse me. Sorry. Let's do a game that does. Let's see. Oh, Keen 4. There we go. That'll do. Do the setup. I guess we can just go into it. Ooh, EGA mode. I didn't want that. I think I have to change the I guess not. Ooh. All right. Well, that's working. All right. I guess I don't need to test that anymore. My only thing I need to do now is try the MT32. Actually, no. You know what? I'm gonna see if how Boom works. I'm gonna set it up to run off the Sound Blaster. Sound Blaster 220 sound effects card. Sound Blaster 220 IRQ5 DMA 1. Oops. There we go. All right. Oh, there you go. There's some of that OPL3 goodness. Oh, yeah. So we're getting... All right. Well, that works. I'm going to try to get the MT3. Okay, so... All right. One more sample I forgot to show was the Game Blaster mode. So we're going to turn that on. All right. Okay, so now we're going to go into the game. Okay, we're going to look and see for Game Blaster, it's G. Okay. G. The Game Blaster came out before the Sound Blaster. This was Creative Labs' first sound device. So as you can see, it sounds a lot like almost like an NES or a Sega Master System. It's like one step up from PC speaker chiptunes for sure. Anyway, that's one little function I just wanted to mention. Here we have our MT32 emulator. I'm going to clear this off and reload it again. All right. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make sure the ROM files are correct. So we want MT32. Then we're going to new MIDI port, which it detects by Gravis Pico. Then we're going to go into the game. We'll do Monkey Island 1. This is how you know your Roland is working. Set it to Roland. Automatically looks for the port. Whoa, that sounds nice. Sounds pretty good. You know, a lot of the games back then, these older games, they didn't use the Sound Blaster and the MT32. Oftentimes, the MT32 did all the sound effects and the music. So, but anyway, I'll figure a solution out. Yeah, it's too bad. It's too bad the other speaker port is mono. It's kind of silly, but it is what it is. Anyway, we're going to try a game that uses the CM32 ROM files. All right, and now we're going to start that up again. This time, I'm going to do Monkey Island 2. All right. I don't need that. So it's the bypass. There's a crack on this game, so it should be. All right. Here we go. Sounds pretty awesome. Lucasfilm Games. Yeah, they did a good job with this. Usually this. That's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome, actually. I should try Star Trek 2, but I don't want to pull the disc out. This is great. 100% worth it. $50 American. Most of these friggin' cards going for hundreds of dollars, but just listen to that. That's such good quality. There's just one little spot here. Like, wow, it just sounds so good. It's so good. Like, perfect. It's perfect. And I think Wing Commander is the other one. I'll do Wing Commander 2. That way I don't have to slow the CPU down. I'll do that. Wing 2. Wing Commander 2 with voices and MT32. So here we go.
I will speak with you.
That.
Guards your distance.
Yep.
Rise your ends.
So there we go. It's working pretty good.
Catherine, what is happening on Golakar?
There we go. All right. Well, that's exactly what I wanted to do. Right on. The only issue is the not getting the stereo sound with the MT32 because of the jack on the sound card I'm plugged into is only mono. So I'll have to figure something out. Oh well. Anyway, it works pretty good.